Welcome into Paul Catalina's Top 5. It's Friday. Rejoice. A full day of college football awaits you tomorrow, plus a pretty damn good game tonight that you can watch. Top 5 Big Ten questions today, of course, brought to you by Texas Beef House. Fear not, if you missed out on the last auction, there's another one coming right back around. Go to bitonbeef.com and always use promo code 365sports for a discount at checkout. Number 5 question for the Big Ten. Is USC a contender? You ever seen this movie?
I'm not sure. What is that?
No. Streetcar Named Desire.
No, I have not.
Yeah. It's Marlon Brando. Good at class. I could have been a contender. So, anyway, that's my bad Marlon Brando. I'm better with Godfather Marlon Brando. These days, that day may never come. You're going to have to do me a favor. But I'm better with that one, and that one's not even that good. It needs some work. But could have been a contender. Is USC a contender? I'm going to say yes right now. Miller Moss, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I have no problem saying that based on the 3 games I've watched him start, the bowl game and the first 2 this year. Plus, they've got speed all over the field on offense. And guess what? Like I keep saying, D'Anton Lynn, hire of the offseason, continues to make that defense a lot better. Turns out, gravy on top of your cheeseburgers, not a good diet for your defensive players. They're all cut up and ripped up now and strong and in the game, and really they didn't have a talent problem. They had a scheme and conditioning problem. D'Anton Lynn appears to have fixed that. USC, absolutely a contender in the Big Ten, and they played better to this point in the year than Oregon has, and we'll talk about Oregon in a minute, but I think that they're for real. I mean, the transfers they got, the young guys, the Branch brothers, Woody Marks, like they've got really good players, great wide receivers all over the field, guys that Miller Moss can get the ball to, a good offensive line, a really good defensive line to this point in the season, and that's how you win in big-time college football. Number 4, how big are Oregon's problems? I don't know yet, but it's something they've got to figure out because they played 2 close games early on, and Boise State is really good. Ashton Gente is fantastic. So let's take that out of the equation a little bit. But Oregon was a much larger favorite in that game and only won by 3, and miraculously did not fumble the ball on the 1-yard line on a kickoff return that was the difference in the game this week because one of their players very smartly picked up the ball as the returner dropped it at the 1. They are very lucky to get out of that game with their lives. So how big are their problems? I don't know. They need to build some chemistry with Dylan Gabriel in that offense, which appears to be there. They've got to stop doing stupid things. Offensive penalties, dropping the ball at the 1-yard line when you have no need to do that. All of that has to stop. I still think that they're a big-time contender. They've just got to work out the kinks a little bit. But this team does not look near as dominant as it did last season. Number 3, how does Michigan fix the offense? I don't think it's fixable when you have no answer at quarterback. This is one of my favorite Kenan Thompson characters, by the way, on Weekend Update. I suggest you look it up. Just look, Weekend Update, fix it. It's great. But they have no quarterbacking right now. They have no running game right now, mostly because they have no quarterbacking. No one's afraid of the quarterback, so no one's scared of Donovan Edwards, who is yet to live up to that cover billing EA Sports College Football, although it may not be completely his fault, given the fact that you can just line up and tee off on them in the run game and not be scared of Alex Orji or the actual starter, Davis Warren, at all. I don't know if they can fix the offense. This, to me, did not look like a team that is ready to defend its title in the Big Ten or nationally, or really even make it to much more than the Meineke Car Care Bowl. They might get there because their schedule is going to work out for them that way. But there's going to be teams that never thought about beating Michigan that score 22 points on them this year, and then Michigan is done. Fresno State, for a minute, thought, are we going to go and beat the defending national champions? And Fresno State's a well-coached team. But they thought for a second, like, could we do this? Could we go to the big house and beat them on the day they hung the banner? Holy cow. Number 2, what is Nebraska's ceiling? Look at this glorious little nerd. I mean, honestly, that could have been me at any point in like 1989, 90, 91. It's about where I was living. Look at this little tweed jacket he's got. Clip-on tie for sure. Yeah. I feel you, buddy. I was you. But what is Nebraska's ceiling? I think it's pretty high. Their schedule's actually not too tough. I mean, yes, they have Ohio State on the schedule. Yes, they have some tough games, but it's not unreasonable to think that this could be a 9-3 or 10-2 team. And the way their defense plays, they could upset somebody. You could get in the backfield to cause some disruption, and you can do that with Tony White's defense. Dylan Raiola doesn't make mistakes and get some big plays, and the running game works that day. Heck, you could beat a team you're not supposed to with that defense and with steady quarterback play from the true freshman Dylan Raiola. So I think, just like 1989 Paul here, up, up, up. Number 1, can James Franklin take down a big dog? I'm going to say yes. I actually am starting to believe for the first time in this Penn State team, he finally has an offensive coordinator that is adaptive and clever and good, Andy Kotelnicki, and Drew Aller looks way better in this system than he did in the previous system. Noah Singleton, legit badass. They've got players on the outside finally that can make some plays. Their defense, maybe not as dominant as it was a year ago with Manny Diaz, but not far off. And they've got some really good rushers on the edge there, guys that can get after you. I think they're going to take down a big dog this year. I think Penn State is one of the 12 playoff teams without question. And where they go undefeated, I don't know if anybody's really going to go undefeated. Georgia's the only team that looks to me like they could, or Texas, but they'd play each other. So one of those teams in a couple weeks now is not going to have 0 losses. So I think James Franklin can take down a big dog, and I think he can do it emphatically. So this could be a very different Penn State team and a team to be contended with. And again, Danton Lynn at USC, I think the best hire of the offseason, right up there in contention, Andy Kotelnicki at Penn State. If you just look at the change from Kansas last year to this year, Penn State last year to this year, through 2 games, it's already stark and unbelievable what Andy Kotelnicki has done at Penn State. Great, great hire for the Nittany Lions. And look at this guy. I mean, I know he's barking, but wouldn't you just love to go play fetch with this guy in the yard? Anyway, that's going to do it for 365 Sports for the day. Have a great football weekend. Pre-game show at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for Baylor and Air Force on KWTX. Thanks to Garrett. Thanks to all of our guests, Kenneth Davis, Josh Neighbors, Evan Abrams, all of them. Thank you so much. This is 365 Sports. Have a great weekend, everybody.